allowed the Blazers to wallop them, to beat them. And the Blazers go in to Brooklyn and they get just what the doctor ordered. We talked about it, did we not? That if the Blazers were a patient who walked into a doctor's office and they sat there and they took their temperature and looked at their eyes and they looked at their ears and they gave them a diagnosis, the doctor would look at the Blazers and say, okay, I have sent a prescription in to your local pharmacy. It is a dose of Brooklyn Nets. Take one, and if symptoms do not improve within a couple days, we'll give you a second dose because the Blazers get to play them again here shortly. Well, it worked tonight as the Blazers go in and grab a 114-95 victory over the Brooklyn Nets, get back to their winning ways. They needed that one, as you heard Travis say multiple times, to keep pace with the Warriors, who won tonight. We'll talk about that a little bit later when we get to our NBA scoreboards. But in general, it was just nice to see the Blazers play that way. They so often, over this little streak, these bad games we've talked about need to come out, play strong, play fast, play quick. That's what they did in this one. In my notes, it was like, oh, it's 8-0. Oh, now it's 10-0 to start. And it was bucket after bucket, and Brooklyn just could not match what they were doing. It was 15-13, then it was 19-5, 24-9, 35-20. It was runs on runs on runs. It was beautiful. It was good basketball. It was exactly what you needed for the Portland Trailblazers. How did they do it? How did the box score look? Let's find out. It's time for the Rip City Recap.
Burkhardt on Fifth Quarter, presented by Coors Light. Choose chill, Portland.
As I said, as those points just continued to pile on, it was 35-20, and that was the end of the first quarter, and the Blazers never looked back. A wire-to-wire win, something that does not get to happen very often for this team, and it looked good until you got late in the game. That was pretty bad. So, yeah, what are you going to do? You got to make sure you have a big lead. You got to make sure you can weather the storm, because Brooklyn did try to storm back. They absolutely did. It was in the fourth quarter where it was a 14-0 run, then it was a 16-0 run, and the Blazers at one point early in that fourth quarter, they had more turnovers, 5, than they did shots, 2. But because they were out to that big lead and were able to hold on through to it for most of the game, they were able to take those punches. That's what happens. Sometimes you get the ebbs and the flows of a basketball game, but the fact that the Blazers got out to that big lead and did what they needed to do for those 3 quarters allowed Brooklyn to go on that run. And in the end, you didn't even sweat it, because you were able to slam the door shut. You were able to hold on. Yes, Brooklyn outscored you 30-27 in the fourth, but you still picked up a 114-95 victory. Taking a look at the box score on the net side of things, 17 points from Chaney Johnson to lead all scores. That was off of the Brooklyn bench. Ben Seraph had 15. Tyson Etienne had 15. 8 points from Danny Wolf. Zaire Williams had 7. 12 points from Nick Claxton. 2 from Drake Powell. It was not a big scoring game for them. Held them under 100 points. Good things happened to the Blazers. They improved to 3-0 when they hold the teams below 100 points. For the Trailblazers, Jeremy Grant had 12 points. He was 5 of 13 shooting in this one. Tumani Kamara, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 14 points, and 11 boards for Donovan Clingan. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists from Denny Avdia. He was just 4 of 13 from the floor. Drew Holiday, 5 of 11, 11 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds, 14 points for Chris Murray. You heard Chad Doing talk about it. He came up big. He was Johnny on the spot. When they needed big plays from Chris Murray showed up with big plays. What more can you ask from Chris? That's what you need from Chris Murray on these nights, is to take advantage of those minutes he is given and have big performances. Tonight, he absolutely did that, so kudos to him. And then Scoot Henderson, another solid game off of the bench, 16 points, 4 assists. He was 5 of 10 from the floor. If you want to join the conversation with us tonight, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, you can hit us up on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat. Or you can hit us up on the text line, 88528, where we just got duded, Michael Shacker. Dude! Please don't forget that most of us listening are on AM radio or a weak speaker, and the music kind of sucks on AM speakers. Well, I don't pick the music. Michael Shacker picks the music. You're going to have to take it up with super producer Michael Shacker. But also, I mean, should we go softer? Should we get some like Celine Dion up in here? What's some soft tunes we can get to not blow out the AM speakers when we're excited? To the beat. No sleep till Brooklyn. There you go. That works. Which is one of my daughter's favorite songs. Her name was Brooklyn, right? So she freaked out when she heard that song for the first time. A little My Heart Will Go On from Celine Dion, get that up in here. Metallica not working for the AM radio signals. Sorry. We'll work on that. We're doing our best. We're trying to figure things out. Michael Shacker is on it. YouTube is secondary. We'll figure YouTube out later. We'll just make sure we try not to blow your speakers out. I appreciate the comment. But again, if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. Of course, you can hit us up. 88528 is a text line. Or to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do plenty of sportsing. We're going to take a look around the NBA scoreboard. We're going to hear from head coach Tiago Splitter in a little bit. All that and plenty more coming up on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620.
He wants to push the other direction. 2-on-3 into the front court. Drops it off for Avdia. The lob to Klingon to the two-hand smash.
There you go. Donovan Klingon putting in work tonight on the glass. Everyone was putting in work. Chad has been putting in work, and he joins us now. Chad, you left me on game day a little heated. Just you were tired of ugly basketball. They did not give you ugly basketball until a little bit in the fourth quarter. But tonight, they took care of business, my friend.
Yeah, are you done acquiescing about your musical tastes, which are mostly bad, so I can start talking about this team?
Whoa.
I was happy with the performance tonight, Burkhardt.
First off,
I like the play. I'm just saying, man. All right, here's the deal about the Blazers tonight. They're not a perfect basketball team. There were a couple of stretches that nearly gave me an aneurysm. Second quarter got sloppy, but Chris Murray came in and settled things down. And I thought his play he was my MVP, Chris Murray, with 12 points in the first half, 5 of 6 shooting, and he helped the Blazers finish on that 23-13 run as they built the 24-point lead. That was nice. I love the response early third after the Nets scored 9 straight. Splitter called timeout. He was upset. Portland came right back out. 9 straight points, pushed the lead back to 28. And then the only real problem was that, into the fourth quarter, 16 unanswered points by the Nets, where they cut the Blazers' lead to 15 after they had taken their biggest lead of 31. But Drew Holiday settled them down and made sure they got a couple of good looks to quickly push the lead back up to 19. So I was very happy because so many different guys contributed and played well for the most part. The turnovers in the second half, again, that's something they're going to have to continue to watch. I think it was 13 turnovers in the second half leading to 19 points. You can't have that. And the Nets, that's part of the reason why they made that comeback. But for the most part, very pleased. The Blazers needed a win, and they got it. And it was a team victory, Chris, where multiple guys stepped up to make contributions.
Yeah, and I know in a game like this, Chad, people will be like, well, we shouldn't be happy because they beat a team that was, one of the worst in the league. They should beat this team, but that's the thing. We've seen them play these games like when they went to Washington and looked lazy and lethargic and got beat on the road against a team they should beat. So when you come out like this and you come out firing, as I said, my notes, it was 8-0, then it was 10-0, then it was 15-13, 19-5, 24-9. They just kept running and getting the score up and kind of trying to slam the door early. That's exactly what you wanted to do, and I think you should be excited a little bit that they actually did it.
Yeah, because this team, first off, the idea that there's no such thing as a gimme for this Trailblazer team, I learned that, on Friday night against Utah and, of course, yesterday against the Sixers. That they should beat teams like this provided they take care of business in the margins and handle their business. And tonight they were able to do that, and they'll do the same thing on Wednesday if they take care of those details against the Pacers. But, most importantly, now that this team is healthy, just continuing to find little ways to build the continuity so that you can put yourself in a position to play your best ball at the end of the year. But I thought Denny Avdia tonight at times was, very productive off the bounce and with his decision-making. I thought Scoot Henderson at times very effective with his play and his shooting, which once again was nice. But Tamani Kamara, 7 of 9 shooting. I mean, he was sensational. And, the other guys, Donovan Klingon got into foul trouble and was pissed off for most of the game. But his double-double in the first half was terrific, especially without, Rob being available tonight. So, again, that was a team effort. And, that's what you should do. You play a team like the Nets, who are just, as we mentioned before, no disrespect to anyone in Brooklyn, but they're garbage. You got to pound them into submission. The Blazers were able to do that, and it was their first wire-to-wire victory of the year, which is amazing to me. But, credit to the Blazers. That was a much-needed win, and now you're 1-1 on the 5-game road trip, and now you get ready for Indiana. They've got to get the one on Wednesday because the 2 games to close out the trip against Minnesota, Denver are going to be tough. But I was, Chris, that was good. That was a much-needed response tonight after what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to go back to Chris Murray for a second, because one thing about him that I like, and some people don't like him, and that's fair, but for me, what I like about him is there's nothing that he does exceptionally well, but there's nothing that he does exceptionally bad. He does what he needs to do. And tonight, not only did he come out and perform 6-7 from the floor, those 14 points came up big. You heard Thiago talk about it a little bit after the game, but I mean, he was playing center. They don't trust Young Hansen yet, who's down in the G League. They don't have Robert Williams, so they play this guy who's a kind of a 3-4 tweener. They play him for large chunks at the 5, and I really like the way he stepped up and just took that challenge on.
I agree. I really like him a lot. And the only thing I don't like about Murray is, like, for some reason, the guy can't make free throws on a consistent basis, which I'll never understand with that stroke that he's got. But he rebounds really well. He runs the floor really well. He's got a unique ability to finish in traffic in the painted area. He's a good defender with length. So, and he's got the nickname Mr. Perfect for a reason, because the coaches tell him something once, and he's in the right spot and does the right thing. So, and he did the right things in that second quarter when the Blazers needed some direction, especially in the offensive end, and Murray was right there to do it. So I just thought he was great tonight. I like his attitude and approach. You know, a lot of guys in the NBA don't understand what they do best that helps a team or their team. Murray understands what his role is when he gets called upon, and he's able to go in there and produce, and we saw that once again tonight. So I just appreciate his work ethic, and there's a certain skill, and you know this, Chris, to like the readiness or being ready when called upon. If you don't know when you're going to be called upon, or if you're not getting regular minutes, and to be able to stay ready to pop in and do some damage like he did tonight, I think tells me a lot about him.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, Chad, I need to know. I know you saw the video I posted. Did you know that the principal's shot is just that silky smooth? I mean, yes, he hit the half-court shot, but I watched him sit there and make like 6 corner threes in a row. Didn't even touch the rim. He's filthy.
He's filthy. He's got a very nice stroke. I've seen him play basketball before. I've seen him play when he was younger. And, you know, the principal is he's one of those guys that always jokes about himself not being this or not being that, but he's got some sneaky white man game on the court, no question about it. All
right, Chad. Well, thank you for joining me.
How many tries did it take him to nail the half-court shot?
I told him I wasn't going to out him. I told him I only posted the win. I only posted the good stuff.
Okay.
I do think it was probably about 10, but they were all close. Like he wasn't coming up short. He was hitting that rim.
It wasn't like these knobs getting up there trying to win a Toyota at Motor Center. Is that what you're telling me? He wasn't shooting them off the top of the backboard or coming up 5 feet short?
No, and I guarantee if you sent me down to shoot the half-court shot at Moda, I am not guarantee you that I'm making it. But I'm guarantee you one thing. I ain't going short. I'm going to put so much. I might go over the backboard. I'd rather go strong than short.
Oh, and by the way, who was that old bag underneath the hoop trying to put a hex on Denny when he was shooting free throws? That guy's like 105 years old. Old balls out there trying to hex the Blazers. I mean, I'm like, come on, Wrinkles. Settle down.
It didn't work, but I was going to let you go, but you brought that up. I actually thought it was cool. Sean Hyken sent us a video, and I posted on our Instagram story. You should be following us there at Rip City Radio. But, I mean, just a huge contingent of Denny Avdia fans there in Brooklyn. He got a massive ovation when he was announced in the starting lineup. So for him, I know that had to be a pretty good feeling.
No, it's the best. I was watching the monitor in Studio C before the game, and there was a bunch of Jewish fans close to the court holding up the Israel flag, yelling for Denny. And what I love about Denny is that he always goes out of his way to show love to his Hebrew brethren, and it makes me really happy. And it's got to be – there's no player like in the NBA where he's playing literally for an entire country and he's got them in his corner, and I know he really loves that opportunity. So I think it's really cool when he gets out there in those East Coast pockets where you have the large Jewish population. So props to Denny, man. I know he loves it, and I think it's great to see that type of support because I love Denny.
Absolutely. All right, Chad, get out of here. Get home. We'll talk to you on the next one, my friend.
Have a good night. See you. Big win.
Show your Blazer. There you go. Just for our friend Chad. And now that he's gone, he's wrong. My musical tastes are not bad. Metallica is one of the best bands of all time. I just came back in with Queen for our texters because Queen is phenomenal. Freddie Mercury, one of the best frontmen of all time. And as our texter did chime in, so don't worry about Chad, Chris. Remember, he's yacht rock guy. He wants to put us to sleep when we're watching basketball. I like that. Curtis Long, is he related to Sonny Long, the legendary coach at Lake Oswego, or maybe David Long, legendary coach at Columbia River High School? Should have asked Chad. He may have known the answer to that. I will ask Curtis for you next time I see him, but I do know the principal does have a history here. He's phenomenal. And if you did, go look at my tweet from the Child Center a couple days ago. He did. He just drained a half-court shot, nothing but net. And I sat there, I watched him sit in the corner, and people were just passing the ball because we had a break between games. He's just like shot. And he just nothing but net. The guy's shot's filthy. The principal knows what he's talking about. Me, on the other hand, I did hit a couple, but not with the same consistency that the principal did. I was a 3-sport athlete. Played football, basketball, and baseball. Didn't play basketball through high school because I wanted to focus on baseball. Also, was the sport I was worst at. I know about it, but when you're 5'0", sometimes you get lost among not even the trees, just the bushes when you're as short as I am. But we have fun, though. I love this sport of basketball. The thing I love about basketball, though, is the fact that, like I said, baseball is my favorite sport of all time. But I can't just pick up a bat and a ball and go have fun by myself. Football, I probably the sport I was best at. But you can't just pick up a football and go play by yourself. But man, if you see a hoop and you have a basketball, you're by yourself, there is a 100% chance you're getting shots up. Like if you're in a gym, no one's in there, you got basketball, you're getting shots up. It's kind of what makes basketball so fun. It's just so accessible. You just go do it by yourself all the time. Then you can grab some friends, get some 5-on-5 going, but you could just go grab a basketball, shoot your free throws, and just let the worries go away. It's kind of fun. All right. We talked about the Blazer game, but what other games are out there that may impact the Blazers? It's time for an NBA scoreboard report.
This NBA scoreboard report is brought to you by McCord's Vancouver Toyota, where they live by the slogan, "We make it easy." Check out their inventory now at vancouvertoyota.com.
See, speaking of music, Michael Shacker, Listen to Me, went with The Sword, The Veil of Isis, another good band y'all should listen to if you haven't already. It's a thing of beauty. You know what else is a thing of beauty? When the Blazers win, they grabbed that 114-95 victory to try to keep pace with the Golden State Warriors, who grabbed a 125-117 victory over the Wizards tonight in Washington. Currently, halftime, the Lakers trail the Rockets 51-57. Another one that if you're a Blazer fan, you definitely want to watch is 8 minutes and 56 seconds left in the second quarter. The Clippers trail the Spurs 39-37. Final scores around the league. The Magic lost to the Hawks 124-112. The Suns lost to the Celtics 120-112. The Grizzlies lost to the Bulls 132-107. And the Pelicans beat the Mavericks 129-111. This NBA Scoreboard Report is powered by McCord Vancouver Toyota, where they live by the slogan, "We make it easy." Check out their inventory now at vancouvertoyota.com. Looking at the standings now, that we've got some updates on the scores, see how things are looking. Like I said, the Portland Trailblazers grabbed the win to keep pace with the Golden State Warriors. Warriors now 33-35. The Blazers 33-36. A half game separates them. And keep in mind, the Blazers do have that tiebreaker over Golden State. And getting the 9th seed be pretty helpful there when it comes to play-in scenarios. The Clippers is another one to watch there. 34-33. That is a 2-game lead over the Portland Trailblazers right now. So that is certainly something that could happen. That is the Blazers catching them and getting up into 8th. It's going to be a lot harder to do. Yes, you only have about 14 games left. The Clippers have been very, very good, pretty much post-trade deadline. And I did not expect that they would be good after trading James Harden and Zubac, but here they are. Blazers still in the thick of it. When you talk about all the other stuff, I mean, Utah, Dallas, New Orleans, and Memphis have not been mathematically eliminated yet, but for all intents and purposes, they are. With the Trailblazers looking, just over a dozen games left, they're not losing, they're not losing 9 more games than Memphis through that stretch. They're just not. They're going to get through this. Portland's going to lock it in. I think we're going to have some fun down the stretch, though, because there's going to be lots of games to watch, lots to look at. And for the first time in a long time, we're not sitting here worrying about, lottery odds. We're looking at play-ins and how things are going to cut out there and how the Blazers are pretty much locked in, but they're not locked into a seed yet. They could be 8th, they could be 9th, they could be 10th. I don't think they'd catch the Suns. That's a much bigger task with how many games are left, but it's still fun to be able in that spot where you get to watch those standings. And then overall, too, kind of like Chad said in the pregame show and over the last few games when he was filling in for me, it's not about what seed they get. It's about how good they're playing come game 83. Yes, I know there's only 82 games in the season, but game 83, that's that play-in game. You want to be peaking right at that time, playing your best basketball. Hopefully today was the first step to do that. So that'd be kind of fun. Ryan says, I remodeled the Westland gym during the summer a while back. I would stay late every day by myself so I could shoot hoops. See? If you're, I traveled, you guys know, obviously I was gone because of the OSA. Like every single gym I was in, I got shots up in. I went to Linfield for 5A in between games, got some shots up, got to play a little one-on-one with my 10-year-old daughter who came with me that day, made some memories. It was phenomenal. Went to Forest Grove for 4A, got some shots up there, and then got some shots up at UP. And you know what? Like I got my shots up, and then there was a couple kids who were there who came and took the ball, and they got shots up, and I just walked off the court. I'm an old man. I've had taken thousands of shots in my time, but this little 10-year-old who's taking shots on the child center court, watching all the high school kids and the Rip City remix come through there, and the Pilots. Those are memories those kids will never forget. So basketball is awesome. You have a hoop. You know, it could be a driveway. It could be the Westland gym when you're remodeling it. It could be your alma mater. It could just be out anywhere. You have a basketball and a hoop. You're getting shots up, man. It's just the way. This is the fifth quarter. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt. You can follow me at Chris J. Burkhardt. You can also join the conversation. 503-248-0620 is that telephone number. 88528 is the text line. And of course, you go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the chat there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, going to head to the coach's corner here from head coach Tiago Splitter. We're going to hand out a game ball. And then I'm going to get out of here, let this voice rest. I'm powering through. You heard it on the broadcast. Travis starting to get that sore throat. I'm starting to get one too, but we're going to power through and have some fun. This is the fifth quarter on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. All right. Radio is on break for a second, but I just want to make sure. Bill and Jackie, I will send Chad your best. I will make sure he gets that message all the way from Central Mexico. And JJ, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Burkhardt. That's right, I am a legend. I just can't win user games in NCAA football anymore. I'm washed. I'm absolutely washed. You broke me. UConn broke me. Ever since then, I'm 0-6 in my last 6 user games. Brutal. You know what? Sometimes the game just passes you by. You just gotta start playing it for fun because you ain't competitive anymore. I'm approaching 40. My hand-eye coordination, my reflexes, they just ain't what they used to be. You go back to the lab. Maybe I just need to go more run-heavy, old school. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Less to worry about. All right, I'm gonna cut to commercial. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. this awesome victory by your Portland Trailblazers tonight as they go into Brooklyn, lead wire to wire, and grab a 114-95 victory. If you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can hit us up on the text line as well, 88528, or go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio. The Blazers, they said they took care of business. It all started in the first quarter. They got out to a quick 10-0 lead. Then it was 15-3, 19-5, 24-9. These are my notes. 35-20. It was just piling on. Took care of business. The Nets did try to storm back late. They did go on about a 16-0 run, but the Blazers' lead had ballooned and was so big that Brooklyn couldn't come back. The largest lead of the night for the Trailblazers was 31. The largest lead of the night for Brooklyn was 0. That's nice. Also, nice that the Blazers had 30 assists on 41 made field goals. So they were passing the ball well. Did they take care of it? For about 3 quarters. They had 19 turnovers. It turned to 19 points off turnovers for Brooklyn. But you look at those turnover numbers. 8 of those 19 came in the fourth quarter. 6 of them came in the third. That means 14 of those 19 turnovers came in the second half. Now, if you can take what you did in the first half and continue to replicate that, that's good. As the saying goes, you're cooking with gasoline at that point. But you got to find out how to sustain that for the whole game. Now, I'm pretty sure head coach Thiago Splitter was pretty happy that his team came out, did what they needed to do, and won that ball game, especially the fact that they came out quickly. There was no hesitation. They, put the foot on the throat right out of the gate. And that's exactly what he wanted. But don't take it from me. Take it from him. It's time to head to the Coach's Corner.
With Thiago Splitter on Fifth Quarter, presented by Coors Light. Choose chill, Portland.
Overall, I think we did a lot of things good. We took care of the ball for the most part of the game, and then the last quarter we again had some, relaxed moments where we just threw the ball all over the place, and we were not focused. And those are the things that we're going to be mentally prepared and for 48 minutes.
Before the game, you said you guys needed to get your mojo back. Did you feel like you saw that a little bit tonight?
Yeah. I think for some parts of the game, we felt like we were doing the things that we planned, working, making shots, rebounding, good defense, and it was a better energy out there.
Starts have been an issue for this team. Obviously not the case tonight. You guys got off 10-0, and then I think you scored 35 points in the first quarter. What did you see out of the team, particularly early on in this game, that you felt like was working for you guys?
I think we took it very seriously. We followed the game plan. We took care of the ball. We shoot open shots. Didn't force many shots. We ran the floor. Took care of the ball in transition. DC was protecting the rim the way we wanted. Basically, we followed the game plan and we were effective.
You had mentioned, you've talked about turnovers all season because it's been an issue. Tamani was one of the guys you mentioned. He only had one tonight. A very good game for Tamani, 18 points, 5 rebounds, a steal and a block. What did you see out of Tamani? And kind of same question about Chris. Chris, the guy too, I know it's been trying to get back in the rotation, particularly in the second quarter, really gave you something.
Yeah, I think you got to feed your energy, those guys from defense. And you get stops, and then everything's going to feel better offensively. I think Tamani did the right thing. He didn't force anything. He waited for the ball to get to him, and then he finished. Same with Chris. Chris was ready. Of course, Rob was out, as we know, and he was ready. He stepped up. He was very active on the boards, on the defense, playing as a 5, rolling to the basket, hitting 2 threes, I believe. So awesome job by Chris being ready.
Have you used him as a 5 before?
Yeah, I think we did in Chicago. Just like that group, there's going to be a switch group, a smaller group that will switch everything. We try to have the right lineup there, so that's why we planned before the game to have a bigger team with Tamani, with City, with Chris, where they're able to switch and secure the boards.
As far as Scoot, pretty good homestand last week for him. Kind of a rough night last night. What do you think of how he played tonight?
I think it was pretty good. Gave us some good moments. Maybe he could play there a little bit at the end, but I want to give some minutes for Blake. But he was solid. overall. A couple of little mistakes here and there, just like the other guys, but I think we are going to the right direction, the right mentality right now.
And speaking of guys getting minutes at the end, Jason Kent getting to make his NBA debut, is that kind of a cool thing for you as a coach to see a G League guy, get to play in the NBA for the first time?
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's you see his work paying off there, and had an amazing season in the G League, defending kind of like a 3D type of player, shooting the ball well, and got the chance to play tonight, and hopefully we can see him more now throughout the rest of the season.
Coach, Mani had some problems with his shoots lately. Today was quite fine. How do you help him with his confidence in his shoots?
Yeah, no, just when I talk to him, just be himself, shoot the ball, don't force anything. He don't need to force. He's a guy that can shoot with, with his feet set, and drive the ball when you have to drive it. Just try to make the game simple and let the game come to him. I think he did that tonight. He was smart with the cuts, with the shots that he had, and again, when he's focused on defense and that's his main job, everything offensively is just going to be in the right place.
And there you hear from head coach Thiago Splitter. And yeah, I'd say he's pretty happy that his team went out and did what they needed to do. Did get a little sloppy there late, but they figured it out. Still held on, got the victory. That's exactly what they needed to do. Like I said, they walk into a doctor gave them a prescription to go pick up at the pharmacy. That prescription was a dose of the Brooklyn Nets. And now you can hopefully continue to keep that ball rolling a little bit, because you do still have tough games on the schedule, but you have the Pacers coming up in your next game on Wednesday, and they are a pretty bad team. Worst team in the NBA right now at 15-53. So take advantage of that. Hopefully you get another win. And for the Blazers, that schedule, then you end the road trip at Minnesota, at Denver. Then you come back home and you get this Brooklyn team again. You get Milwaukee, a Milwaukee team who is currently on the outside of the play-in, looking in. They've won one game in a row. They're 2-8 in their last 10. Then you get Dallas, who has struggled mightily. They lost tonight against New Orleans. They're 2-8 in their last 10. You got Washington, who is also 0-10 in their last 10, losers of 12 in a row, the longest losing streak in the NBA, second to only the Indiana Pacers. And then you have two games, massive, huge, ginormous games. March 31st, April 10th, against the LA Clippers, the team that currently, as you look at the standings as they are right now, has a 2-game lead against the Blazers. And so you need to do your best to grab those games, solidify your status, and try to get into that 8 spot. Easier said than done, but this schedule, we talked about it being easier the rest of the way. It has been, but the Blazers have still kind of struggled, and they've had moments where they've limped through games. Or games like that Utah game where they turned the ball over like crazy, but they got the W because they just still took care of what they needed to do in the end. This game, it was a great game. Yeah, the little spurt there by Brooklyn in the fourth, you would like to clean that up, but overall you have a lot to like from that game. Build on that against Indiana, and then see what happens against some of those tougher playoff teams down the stretch. Great game from everybody, but only one person gets a game ball. Let's find out who it is.
Who is the MVP tonight for the Trailblazers? It's time for Game Balls on Fifth Quarter, live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light, choose chill.
I am sticking with Chad here. I think Chris Murray gets the game ball. 6 of 7 from the floor tonight, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. He had 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 14 points. Now, Drew Holiday was a team high, plus 30, but Chris Murray came in, helped set the tone when they needed him to, played out of position a little bit, played a lot of minutes at the center because of no Young Hansen, because of him being down in the G League, and then no Robert Williams because he hasn't been playing on the second night of the back-to-back. So a great game from Chris Murray. Definitely want to hand the game ball out to him. Now, JJ in the chat, he says, I don't care if we just make the play-in game. I've loved that for this team. Any playoff experience is a good experience. And that's the thing. Even if it's just one game, JJ, I find that to be extremely valuable. And I understand there's people who want ping pong balls and all that stuff, but right now you're locked in. You're not getting out of that. So get into the play-in. Now, if you lose and then you get back in the lottery after losing a play-in game, then you play that lottery game. But until then, get into that play-in, which you're pretty much locked in, and then enjoy that experience and learn from that experience. One thing you always talk about is like, oh, this team needs playoff experience. This team needs playoff experience. Well, what is that play-in game, and what have you get through that? Even if you lose in 4 games, what did you get? You got playoff experience. Those games are different. Your rotations are tighter. They're reffed a little tighter. There's a little more physicality to those playoff games. Getting that experience would be massive. Absolutely massive. You know what else is massive? Just getting the monkey off your back and getting a dominant win. Blazers hasn't had a lot of those this year. They needed that one tonight. So they go into Brooklyn and grab the 114-95 victory. That's going to do it for the 5th quarter tonight. Thank you to everyone for shooting their comments on the chat line. Thanks for everyone joining the YouTube chats as well. And for, anyone who called in. But no one did today. These early games, they throw people off. That's why I like the text line in the chat. People like to type more. They like to call anymore. Kids these days. But the Blazers took care of business to grab the 114-95 victory over the Brooklyn Nets. They'll be back in action on Wednesday, continuing this road trip. Game 3 of 5 on the road. They'll be taking on the Indiana Pacers at 4:30, which means I'll have Blazers game day for you starting at 2:30. We'll have some fun. Give me these 2 days to rest this voice. I have powered through. If you can't hear the crackling, that means I'm doing a good job. But my guess is like my sore throat spray, my bag of cough drops, the tea that I've been drinking. It's been helping. It's been helping. Hopefully, a little extra day off. We'll be ready to go on Wednesday, and the Blazers will be ready to go as well and get another victory. Again, Blazers go into Brooklyn, grab a 114-95 victory. You've been awesome, Rip City. Michael Shacker, you have been awesome. Thanks for everything today. He was wearing many hats, and we got through it, so thank you for that. And Rip City, you know what? Go rest up, too. I'll talk to you on the next one.
Broadcasting live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light.